LetsTalkBusinessHereOnCentralValleyTalk.com.
And welcome back to Let's Talk Business here on CentralValleyTalk.com. I love talking to local authors. We had one yesterday. We have another one today. The author of Easton Summer, set right here in our own Central Valley in Easton.
Yes.
Donna Dolf, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I love when a local community is mentioned in the title of a book.
Well, it's venued in Easton.
Venued in Easton.
Yes.
Yes, all about Easton. So Easton Summer, this is the first of, you told me, 4 books you're writing.
Yes.
That are all going to be interrelated, or will it be a continuing story? Or?
It's a continuing story. We start with 3 preteens, Jason, Eric, and Katie. They are all situated at the Sanders Ranch in Easton, and it's their adventure.
Now, the Sanders Ranch is a real place.
The place is real. It's all fictionalized. I could not use real names.
The names have been changed.
Yes.
But how much of this is based on experiences in your past?
A lot of it is.
A lot of it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So what happens to these kids? Without giving away the plot, obviously, but...
Well, they turn detective, and they're looking for a mystery, and that's what they do. The book is about this. Some thieves are in Easton, and they're stealing goats. So the kids are tracking them down. So it's a story of what they do to find the thieves, and at the same time, they are overcoming some problems that they have. These are problem kids. So it's bringing them together. They're learning to love. They're learning to trust people. They have a mentor, a young woman named Shelley. She works with them and helps them find themselves. And at the end, they do come together. One of them graduates, and the other 2 are going to be in the next book.
No, I was going to say, don't give away the whole ending.
No.
All right, we're going to have you read a little bit of this in a bit, but I always like asking authors that come on, what inspired you to take this idea from your head and put it on paper or on the computer?
I have stories running through my head constantly.
Don't we all?
I just decided to write it down. I actually worked with a youth group at my church, and the kids inspired me. These aren't any of those kids, but I just put the story together. Kids, nowadays, they have problems. So this is me trying to help kids.
So are there life lessons in here?
I guess, yeah.
If you dig deep enough?
If you dig deep enough. It's a story.
Yeah.
It's they're having fun in the summer. It's set back probably 30 years ago where, parents could let their kids go outside and not worry about them. They show back up at dinner time and not have to worry where they were. These kids roam Easton, and they're looking for those thieves. And they're having fun while they're doing it.
They're roaming Easton. Okay.
Yes.
Now, before you started writing, did you have all 4 books mapped out in your head, or rough ideas of where the story was going?
No, the first book was there. As I wrote it, I realized there was more I could do. So I mapped out the 4 books. And we'll have the same characters in it.
Okay.
And we'll span a year.
A year. All right. Originally, this was for sale only online, but now we have a not a hardback, it's a softback, but I mean, it's something you can hold.
Yes, it's available on Amazon. You can search for Easton Summer or my name, and the book will come up. You
Search
can
for
order it
Easton
there.
Summer.
It's also available as a Kindle book.
If you have a Kindle, just download it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now you're going to read a little bit for us, and
I am.
Does it need any setup or?
The kids have found the thieves, and they are watching them.
They're watching the thieves.
They're watching the thieves.
Okay.
They lay on their bellies, all in a row, watching the ranch from 2 rows of trees into the orchard. Their bikes were hidden behind the trees, farther from the street. It seemed like they'd been lying like this for hours. Hey, this is like when we watched for those who were stealing our newspapers, except there's no trees to hide behind, Jason noted. Sort of, Katie agreed, squirming to get comfortable. Shelley said it was a stakeout, Eric explained. We're staking out the goat thieves. I hope we get Caesar back. How did you stake out for your newspapers? Robert asked, curious about what they were talking about. Oh, we hid under a kumquat tree on our driveway watching for our paper boy to deliver the paper. Someone kept stealing it, Eric replied, pausing in thought. I guess it was the dog, though, since we found all those newspapers and trash under the vine in the field. Yeah, what a waste of time, Jason muttered. No, it wasn't, Katie told him. We wouldn't know what to do now if we hadn't done a stakeout for the newspaper. Well, whatever you're doing, this ground is hard, Robert complained. We all need to lie still or we'll draw attention to ourselves, Eric instructed, watching David and Derek fidget next to Katie. Hold still, David, Katie told him. David stopped squirming, shoving Derek next to him. They didn't have long to wait. A pickup with a camper shell on it turned into the driveway. Katie had her notebook out and was scribbling fast, trying to write the truck's description and license plate number down. She had already written the address of the ranch and a description of the trailer hidden in the barn in her notebook. The pickup pulled in next to the barn where the kids had been standing peering into the window. Two strangers got out and walked to the back of the truck. "That's them," Robert excitedly whispered. "Those are the guys I saw with that dog." The men opened the hatch to the camper shell and reached inside. Each man brought out a goat kid. The angels could hear the goats crying all the way across the street. As they watched, the stray dog appeared, jumping up on the two men holding the goats. "Down, Ranger," they heard one of the men yell at the dog. Ranger the dog immediately sat down, waiting for another command. The men shut the hatch and carried the goat kids to the barn door. Handing his goat to the other men, the driver of the truck opened the barn door. The men and Ranger went inside the barn and almost immediately returned, locking the door. The men walked towards the house, disappearing in the back. Ranger curled up in the dirt once again in front of the barn door. "We better go now before they see us," Eric said, worry in his voice. "We're not doing anything wrong," Robert said. "Yeah, but they'll know we were watching them. Let's walk through the orchard instead of the trees," Eric suggested. "Yeah, that's a good idea," Katie agreed. "Let's get out of here."
There you go. A little bit of Easton summer here on CentralValleyTalk.com. When you were a child, did you like to go to the library and have people read to you, or did your folks read to you?
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. Both yeses, yeah.
I read a lot.
You read a lot. I do too. I do too. Support your public library, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, Easton Summer. And again, you can find it on Amazon,
On Amazon.
or if you have a Kindle,
You can find it on Amazon there too.
there you go.
There's
There
a
you
deal
go.
if you buy the paperback, you can get the Kindle for $1.
For $1 more for
Yes.
the downloaded version. That's the deal. So when do you think the second one might be out?
By the end of the year.
By the end of the
I'm
year.
about 2/3 of the way through it.
Well, you'll have to come back when that happens.
Okay.
Donna Dolf, author of Easton Summer, here on CentralValleyTalk.com.